Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to Midlife with Mystics and Misfits. I'm Cece.
And I'm Jen.
Happy Love Day.
Happy Love Day. I'm so excited. What are you doing for Love Valentine's? Do you guys celebrate?
We don't, you know what? Honestly, we don't celebrate almost any conventional holiday cuz we just do stuff every day for each other. So,
Mhm.
we actually don't we never have. Neither one of us have like Easter not a big thing. Like nothing's a
Right.
big thing.
Right.
Yeah. What about you?
I well, it's my birthday week, so I'm
Yes,
a
it
birthday
is.
week slash birthday month person, so it's all in the same February, so I just expect a lot of love and
I love that.
Yeah, so nothing planned. It's a Saturday. It's to where this podcast is going to be uploaded
On
on the actual day. So
Yes.
yeah, I'm doing dinner and fun things.
Yeah, you
Will Chris
are.
be home?
Yes, he's gonna be home. Yeah, we'll be home, making our steaks and having our wine and just
Yeah.
doing our thing. I've
Yeah.
got I made him a song, so that's something I'll play for him that day.
You mentioned that you were going to be you were really emotional one day
Yeah.
and we were chatting and it was because of this song. So don't will he have heard it by next week? Yes, he will by this. Oh wait,
Yes.
yes. Okay. So you had it created on an app?
Yeah, it's I think it's called Suno. It's like it's a app that creates AI music. So,
Okay.
you can either let it make lyrics for you or you can put your own lyrics in. And I'm a little bit of a poet, so I made a song about our life together. And
Oh.
then you can pick the genre of music, so I did country because I like country music.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think it'll warm his heart. It made my heart warm, so
Well, does he is he a crier?
only for very specific things.
Okay.
I think he cries every birthday because the kids we do, we do this really cool thing because of Daytree's boyfriend, his family, everybody's birthday, they collectively get together on Zoom because they're all over the place,
Okay.
and they just pour into the birthday person and give blessings for the
Oh.
year.
Oh.
So we've adopted that over the last 5 years as well. So on his birthday, he cries every year because the kids just pour into him and he's just a melting pot and it's beautiful. I love it.
All that love, sometimes is overwhelming. And so
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well,
Allows
you
all
can
those
hear.
layers to melt.
Yeah. Sorry about my cold. I've been a little bit sick since the full moon release.
Mm, all
Yeah.
that good energy going
All that
away.
great energy. I know. During it, there was a lot of resistance to what I was trying to release. So it was quite interesting. It wasn't burning the paper. It kept going out, which was so interesting.
Yes. And
Um,
do you wanna share what that was that was about or no? Or we just we gonna get into some love talk?
Yeah, well, it's so interesting because I think it actually connects. We,
Mm.
yeah, it's so crazy with in love. You have been married for how long now?
It'll be 25 years this August.
By the way, I can't wait to hear the song. So y-
Oh, I'll send it to you.
I really want to hear it. Okay, good.
You'll hear it before he does.
Good. 25 years in August. Okay, so
Yes.
we have very different experiences in romantic relationships because I was married, separated, divorced, and have been on the single kind of scene for about a decade. It's literally almost been a decade now because I was very resistant to ever wanting a relationship again. So I'm sure our viewers can experience your story and version of romance and mine.
Absolutely.
And so part of the release and why I think I'm stuck is because I've been really I think I've been holding on to um not quite releasing, and it's so interesting. I'm still navigating all of this and what this means, but I was in a relationship for a lot of that decade that I was single with this particular individual. And I have to tell you, I mean, when you love somebody, it's like intense, and there are, especially in relationships, there are highs and lows. And
Oh,
we
yeah.
have decided that we cannot be together, because it's just not a space that we are, fears of abandonment and things that are going on, and in the trauma of us is something that doesn't equal safety in my body. And
Okay.
so I have ended it like 2 years ago. I was like, I can't do it.
Mhm.
So, I think the release and this whole year has been so hard, specifically for me, this year of the snake and the shedding has been so crazy because I have been trying to shed and release and let go of my own stuff, but specifically with this relationship. And we've all kind of had heartbreak, right? We've all kind of done
Yeah.
that
Would
heartbreak thing. And
so
so
would
I sorry?
I was gonna say, would you say that that relationship was like a twin flame thing?
Oh shit.
Or
Yes.
yeah.
He came in
Those
to
are
hold up some mirrors, that's for sure.
nice. Okay. Keep
And
going.
I know, as I read people,
Yep.
I know that these are the ones that are very tumultuous usually, that normally don't end up together because the lesson is the biggest point of the whole thing. And I also know as I read them how my heart breaks for them because I'm experiencing it in my own world, in my own life. And I often say in readings, I know exactly how you're feeling right now. And I think they just are like, sure you do.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
but I'm
Right.
like, no, but I really, really do.
Yeah.
So, it's funny that you asked about Valentine's Day because I mean, now I'm seeing such a beautiful human being. But the sad part is that what I've realized is that with this final shedding and the full moon that we just did,
Mhm.
I had to finally release, and I'm going to get emotional talking about it. I had to release the hope that I would someday get back together or that we would be healed and we would reconnect. And
Aw.
so um, the scariest part was admitting that to myself. And the second scariest part was saying it out loud and admitting it to others, including the
Mm.
person that I'm currently dating, interestingly enough.
Oh, you had that conversation. That's beautiful.
Well, I had to, because here's what I've noticed. In the past couple weeks, there have been such glaring synchronicities in my world, in the universe saying, "You're going to be okay. We got you." And, you
Yeah.
know, you on a podcast saying, "Have you ever read this book called The Surrender Experiment?" Two other people in the last 2 weeks who are not connected to you or I, saying the same thing. Have you read the book Surrender Experience? The full moon release when my paper wouldn't light. And I was like, mother, light up and burn,
Light it.
light it. I need to this gone anyway. And so, I mean, I've been really kind of getting these downloads of look at all of these little bits and pieces of breadcrumbs that have been helping me along the way to admit and to see like the final kind of mirror of I knew in my mind this was not a safe space, that this was not something I wanted, that this kind of love was not the kind of love that I was looking for that created safety for me. But I did not see and did not realize I had left the door open a crack in the hope that he would
Right.
fix his shit. And there's no blame here. We both had shit, we
Yeah,
did both brought our own shit to the table.
of
But
course.
yeah, so I think this last kind of sickness, the brain fog that I've been experiencing the past 6 months, the lack of joy, the throat issues, yeah, the lack of wanting to work, not wa- I like these all these really, and I'm like perimenopause is kicking my ass. Do I think it amplified it? Yes. No estrogen in my body. there is a testament to what happened there, like
Yeah.
physiologically. But I think it was also my body, you know, finally catching up to what my brain, knew, in that it I had to give up the hope of being of ever
Uh,
of the possibility of who he would become, or of where we could potentially be, not now maybe, but in this lifetime at a later date.
exactly.
So,
That's heavy stuff to let go of, and I think that will resonate really hard with a lot of our viewers who
mhm,
are either in relationships like that or who have had that same experience of someone walking into their life who's like the instant click, but then all it is two mirrors, and that's the thing, right? So, what would you say, what during that period, because I think
mm,
it's a good question to contemplate on, what did you abandon within yourself within that time period you guys were together? Did you
mm.
abandon any part of yourself to try to make all of that work?
Oh my god, so much. Because I loved him and the idea of him and the idea of
Mhm.
us, essentially, so much. I gave up, so much safety, and I gave up so much, yeah, it's insane. I played small. I showed who I was, and that was well received. It was just the inability to ever feel like the loyalty was there, or the absolute trust that I require in relationship.
Can
So,
you can you describe what that safety means? Because I think a lot of people will have the same
mm,
feeling, but they don't have words for it.
yeah, and so, because I've thought long and hard about this, in telling him I wasn't feeling safe. And I mean, I'm sure he had his own lack of safety from me, because I would pull out of the relationship instead of lean in. And so
Mhm.
that was really kind of difficult. But for me, that lack of safety felt like, constantly worried, constantly not knowing where his head was at. The communication wasn't where it needed to be. So when I would ask, I would get like a very surface level answer. It was just this feeling of always knowing that I wasn't getting the full story, or my intuition was screaming at me that why didn't you say this? Quieting my own voice, because I was fearful of this leading to a fight or an argument in some capacity, or
Ooh,
disappointing. And then again.
that's gonna resonate. I think that'll
Yeah.
resonate so much. That even resonates with me over the past,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
totally can get that.
In relation, and in a marriage of 25 years, right? Like it's,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. We're in a beautiful place now, but
Mhm.
we've had massive up and downs for 25 years. I don't think you can get to the a 25-year mark without going through hell and high water to get there,
Yeah.
right? And I've heard it from a lot of people who've been married longer than us, and it's you you become different people along the way, and you redate that person new a lot of different times in order to get to that point. But there's just some people that walk into our lives, and it could be friends, it could be romantic partners, whatever.
Yeah.
And that connection, that lifetime connection is there, but then it's there for a reason, right? It's there to
Yeah.
teach us something about ourselves, not so much them, but more about who we are. So,
Well, and that's it. And the day that I met him, I'll never forget. And I've had this with a friend too. So this, you're right. This could be romantic and not romantic. I
mhm.
remember, I remember looking at him, and I said, "Oh shit." And he's like, "Well, it's very nice to meet you too." Um, and I don't know if I told him that day, but I told him very soon after. I was like, I have known you for lifetimes, and this is going to be a big one." And
Mm,
I knew it was probably going to end in a big hurt.
yeah,
But it was, and probably again why I was always kind of dysregulated and feeling that, things just didn't match where I needed them to be.
yeah,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
I totally get. There
Mm.
was, I had the same experience with I went to a ladies' night,
Yeah.
at think it was at a crystal shop somewhere in Calgary. I don't know. There was probably a group of 20 of us, but there was a gal who sat across from me. And I just I looked into her eyes and I was like, oh my God. I'm like, I've we've known each other for I
Yeah.
don't even know how many lifetimes, right?
Yeah.
And she would stare back at me and that, and after the fact, I went and sat down with her, which I at that point, I'm not a huge social person in those gatherings. I am now, but back then I wasn't. And I went and I sat down with her. I'm like, this is gonna sound really strange, but I'm like, I have known you for like thousands of years. Like I know I've known you from past lives. And she's like,
Yeah.
I thought the same thing.
Oh,
And, I mean, it hasn't ended badly with us at all, but that feeling of that recognition of knowing someone, like,
yeah.
her and I still talk in that, and we're good, but it's just that knowing, it can be so intense, and sometimes it's okay for us, and sometimes it's like sometimes it's not, right?
And you know
So
they're coming in to teach some kind of a lesson or to
yeah,
help you learn
absolutely.
a lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I mean, and the relationship has taught things along the way.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I always saw her like my view of her, she was always just this powerful essence within herself. And she always had this like radiance and this
Mm.
confidence in herself, which is something that I didn't see in myself at that time. So her,
Yeah.
yeah, right.
Because
So
I was just
her
gonna ask you, what did she bring to your life? And that mirror she held up
that,
was that you actually have that.
yeah. Well, and
Yeah.
and and I was like, yeah, and I think that's the whole point is, well, not even the whole point. That's one of the points is when we get into these, relationships, whether romantic or not, they hold a mirror. We can't recognize something in someone unless we have it in ourselves, right? Good or bad or otherwise. So just the capability of recognizing what's good for you and not good for you. That's like you recognizing this resonates or like this is alignment or it's not alignment. Right? So
Yes.
she did bring that for me. She brought this, like, fierce fire energy, like she was so calm and quiet about it, and she's so, like, just I don't know. She's beautiful that way, but that's what she brought for me.
I love that. The ability for you to see it in yourself.
Yeah, the ability for me to, like yeah, to take it in and really, like, be like, "I have that too." It's buried right now, but I do have that. It's in there. It's right? So,
Yeah.
yeah. So for you can I ask you another question?
I'm very uncomfortable.
I'm so proud of you for being so uncomfortable.
I
Have we
know.
not been I'm like, have we been comfortable in the last mo
No, we haven't. We
I don't think
haven't.
we've been
No.
comfortable in the last week
Well, and
or in the
because I
last month.
until I just realized this myself, like within the last 2 days. This is new. Like this integration that I've been. This is the.
Ooh,
It's raw still. Like
it's
it's
raw.
like
It's
yeah. So I'm
well,
I'm I'm out like I'm on the verge of tears. Like I'm just like it's
uh,
super, and it's just such a beautiful moment because I was holding it in, and so to be able to share it, the gratitude I have for you to share, you were the first person I told,
aw.
and I was like,
Aw,
"Thank
bless
you
your
for
heart. I love you.
safe space. I love you." But you
Aw.
gave me the courage to then share it with the person that I'm currently with,
Oh, that's
which was
beautiful.
so fucking hard because I don't wanna hurt him, and, um and
And
he
he
took it so gracefully and so beautifully with 0 judgment and such a space of containment. It was so I was like, "This is the mirror that I see now." I'm like, "This is the kind of" and I thanked him because I said, "Without your mirror of" and which again, I randomly met him on a pickleball court, and I was like and then he shared with me, last night after he's like, "I knew instantly." He's like, he goes, "I think I knew instantly that I loved you." He's like, "It was insane, like that
aw.
moment of that he met me." And I was
Oh
like
my god.
he's like, "It was like you were this, like, lightning bolt that just came in," and he goes, "And I knew I had to be with you." And so,
Oh my
he's
god.
been very persistent. That's a whole other podcast that
That
we'll talk about him another time. But
yeah, no
he
kidding.
and I don't know what chapter he is in my life. I really don't. But what I do know is that he came for this sacred purpose of helping me see the kind of love that I deserve and that it's
Yes.
possible to get that. Anyway, you
Absolutely.
I overtook your question as I was like, "Oh my god."
Oh, yeah. You're like, "Don't ask." Well, my question was gonna be, was the lesson from the twin flame, was the lesson the person, or was the lesson that you finally
Ooh.
choose you?
Yeah, I chose me.
You chose you.
Yeah, and that's what makes me
You're
so
gonna make me
sad.
cry.
I know because
I'm
I'm
like,
like, finally, and I have 2 young girls, so here I am
"Mm,
in generations and generations of women who did not choose themselves. And so we've all come here to remember to achieve a lesson, right? The major purpose.
yes, yes.
And my mom had 2 girls, and then I've had 2 children, my sister had 2 girls, like, everybody, we keep having 2 girls.
Oh my god."
And the fact that I fucking remembered was like,
Right?
now
She
I've
exactly.
cured
High
this
fives to
for
you. Psh.
but I've it feels to me like I have gone through the fire, literally. And, but now I'm hoping that now past generations and then future generations can be healed from this particular.
100%. You're healing your bloodline, past
Yeah.
and present, which
Yeah.
is fucking tough.
Yeah. Let me tell you, Dark Night of the Soul, hello, what?
Right? And I
So,
think people have this, like, grandiose vision of what a dark night of the soul is, and it's so many different things.
yeah.
Like, it's so many different things. It's this. It's getting over, like, those latent underground fears that we have.
Yeah.
Like, it comes in so many different shades and so many different times,
Yeah.
l right? But when you break them, you heal bloodlines through it. You heal past and present and
Yeah.
future. Like, it's so beautiful. So
And
kudos to you for going through it.
oh, thank you.
I know you're in the suck of it, but it's
It will be
you're so
better on the other side.
it'll be better on the other side, and you're supported through it. You have a man who's giving you, is being the container for you to let
Yeah.
it all unfold,
Yep.
and your viewers and me, and you're very held in it, right?
Well, and
Whew.
that's the synchronicities that I keep getting these downloads of, okay, do you see how it's all connected? And part of the surrender experiment has been that kind of glaring light of, see what happens when you surrender, Jen? If you stop being a control freak, stop trying to like micromanage, stop trying to do all the stuff.
It's so interconnected. Like, it's
Yeah.
so interconnected. Like,
Yeah.
I love this stuff. I love talking about this stuff.
I
Now, do
know.
you think, and I'm gonna ask another question because it just came into my head. Do
Okay.
you do you think do you think sometimes that we label these twin flames or these
Mm.
relationships that come in, do you think we label them what they are, but they're more of a trauma bond in order to make our pain feel less painful?
Ooh, that's a great question. Um, yeah, yes. I think that I'm not sure what this was. Do I know that it was generational? Do I know that I have so much gratitude for this person for holding up the mirror and allowing me to learn this really difficult lesson that I think has been in my family's lineage for a very long
Mhm.
time? Yes. So I hate the term soulmate. I hate the terms twin flame. I think they're so
I
overused.
know. I do too, I
But
agree with you. But I'm like, what else to
I
call it?
but the fact is it is what it is. So
Yeah.
whether it is trauma bonding, whether it is twin flame, I don't know. I
Mhm.
know what I'm feeling and I know that I'm um working through my own stuff um and healing trauma. And so yes and yes.
So what
It's
do you
not a
see on the
or, it's an and.
No, it is an and. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I don't even like the
Yeah.
word trauma. Trauma's been overkilled. Like,
Oh, right?
all this stuff just is. Like, I
It
wish we
is.
didn't have, like, these container words for all of this stuff, but I know our viewers, there's people out there that will resonate only with certain words because it's been used for so long, and
Yeah.
I don't wanna dismiss using the container words because they're out there. They are
Yeah.
everywhere, right?
Oh.
Okay, so what do you see for yourself in love?
Yeah,
Let's
so
let's let's talk about you though. What do you see in what do you
for
see in
me,
yourself in love in terms of you loving you? What does that look
that's
like?
well, and that's the thing. It feels like for the very first time, I am putting myself first.
Mm,
I'm creating boundaries that I did not know were missing. So again, part of this go, go, go mentality. And so the last, my body was like, Ed, you're done. So
and you're
I've
out.
been, and you're out. And it's so I've been needing to rest. And like I slept for almost like 24 hours. Like it was
Ugh,
insanity how my body was like, okay, you need to stop. I know, I know. And you were like, okay, go rest. And I was like,
I'm
but
like,
no, but and you're like,
no,
nope, go.
no, go
Yeah.
rest.
I know, and it's true. So having people like you kind of holding me or reminding me that these boundaries are actually not it's not unfair of me to say, you know what, I actually don't want to go out tonight. I know we had plans, but and very I mean, obviously not a pattern. This is something that I'm really legitimately sick.
Mhm.
Um or I don't want to do something because my body needs to rest. Like I can say these things and it's not a rejection of somebody else. It's more of um, a love for self. So these are the things that I'm learning about me and that it's okay to be loved, that it's okay to love myself and
Mm,
treat myself with a spa day or
yes.
go and listen to what my body intuitively needs. I
Yeah.
think rather
When
than
you have
just
well, when you've been telling other people, "Hey, I'm not gonna do this," or "I'm not" how did that feel in your body? When you like? Because I know when I started to create boundaries, well, it was fucking uncomfortable.
oh, it's horrible.
It's like
And then
it's
I
like
feel like
this
I need to like
uh,
over explain.
yeah, yeah, you do at the beginning.
Yeah.
It gets better where you don't over explain after a while, like, because it just becomes a part of who you are, but
Yeah.
that beginning part of having to, like, over explain is so crazy.
Yeah. And
Like, why
and I
can't our
feel
nose be nose? Just no.
no.
Like,
Because when people say no to me, I'm like, okay. Yeah,
I
we'll
know,
find a
same
time.
thing.
Yeah, yeah,
And yeah, so weird, hey? So I don't know if
it
there's
is.
viewers out there. You've made it to 30 minutes. Congrats. We're gonna be we'll get into some more good stuff here. But
Yeah.
yeah, our viewers, have you set boundaries? If you have, how uncomfortable has it been?
Mm,
Because I know for me it was um and then that created like the processing of why does it feel uncomfortable?
right.
Like, where am I abandoning myself? Because where have I abandoned myself in the past? Because this is so uncomfortable. Why? Like, it led me to a lot of healing from my past because I was like, I got to see all the points in time that I abandoned that version of myself that could have said no and said yes anyways,
Mm. And
right?
that's that self-love part that we keep
Oh, yeah,
talking about.
it's totally about self-love.
Yeah.
I'm like, who taught us to abandon our own self-love? Is this just generational? Like, is this just bloodline stuff? Or like it's an interesting thought to think about.
It
Like,
is
where
an
did it
interest.
come
Like where
from?
like is it like is it micro or is it like macro? Is this a
Yeah.
world thing? Because I
Yeah.
actually think it is.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've just generationally have just taken it on as and I don't even think it's a woman versus man thing. I think it's like I think it's I mean,
Nope.
yes, absolutely. The divine feminine we know has
Well, she's rising.
yeah, she is a rising because she's been oppressed and, sheltered and, you know, contained for a very long time and not
Hmm.
potentially the most tender of ways. Let's say
Right.
that.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
from the witches that were burned on the stake to
Right.
right, right. So I do think it's a
Absolutely.
masculine thing though. Like men and love is a whole other to show love or to give self love is something I think men also struggle with too.
Oh, I agree on both sides. I think both men and women were taught to abandon themselves for the greater good of whatever that greater good was at a certain period and point in time. And I think both sides learned to lose that piece of themselves that could create self love and the whole priority of If my body says no, then it should be a no, right?
Mhm.
Because I even
I
see
would
I've seen men do it too. They burn themselves out because they don't know how to say no to work, to their families, like, to everything, right?
and it's I mean, because then what comes into mind so quickly is this, m for me, and conspiracy theories are my one of my favorite things because, you and I love those rabbit holes.
Me
Um,
too. Yes, we do.
as you were typing me at midnight last night going, "Oh my god, do you wanna chat? I just went down this rabbit hole."
I know. I'm like, "Oh
I was
my
like,
god.
I was
Oh my
I was
god."
sleeping.
I
Um
love it.
I know. But, this whole disconnect from self, I think is the biggest picture, right? Somewhere along the
Yeah.
way, higher powers that be recognize that the more disconnected humanity is from self, the less they ask questions, the more they follow along and they do what they've been told to do. I went to the Mayan Riviera like 20 years ago, and one of the things that the first moments of clarity for me were, oh, this was 30 years ago, maybe. They used to tell the Mayan people that they were not allowed to look up because then they would be instantly, the gods would, hurt them and their families and things. And it was because of, they didn't want them to ask any questions. So like all something about they lived at the top of the pyramid. I don't know remember the whole thing, but I remember, and I'm like, so they would just walk and look down the entire time, and the interpreter, the person who was giving I'm probably butchering the memory of this, so if anybody knows the actual reason why, but it was my first what I took away from it was the clarity of, so they just all listened because they were told to do it. And so here we
Yes.
are as this disconnected from self. We just follow along. And so the reconnection, that's
Yes.
what I feel like I'm doing. I feel like I'm integrating the soul, the human is moving aside, and the soul, the
Woo.
purpose is being integrated.
I got chills right up
Yeah.
my spine as you said that.
Oh, I
Oh,
love that.
I love fuck, I love the synchronicities when we talk about stuff because I didn't even like I had messaged you last night and said, "Oh my god, call me because I'm going down this massive rabbit hole."
Yeah.
And I think it'll be another full podcast on its own, but I got into looking up Mary of Magdalene and Moad and all of these things, and part of that was connection to self, but connection to self is really connection to source. Like
I know we
they
just
are
said that.
they are not separate. They are not separate from each other. So, um, I mean, I'm probably going to butcher the whole Mary of Magdalene thing because I'm just starting to really get into it. But from what I had dived into last night, they feared her because she was connected. Self for her was connected to source. She was one of the biggest seers in that time frame.
Yeah.
So she could see beyond the humanness of the fear and the control and the system that kept everybody where they were, which is why she was so feared. I might have butchered that. Apologize if someone knows better than I do, but that's the essence that I took from it. So as I started to research, I started to think, I'm like, self love and being connected to self, if that's connected to pure source, like point of creation time, like point of creation, which is where we all came from, whether you believe that's a god or whatever the case, it doesn't even matter. We
Yep.
got created at some point in time, right? Um, that's like the biggest love that we can give ourselves is to come back into that. And the biggest challenge is we will have people that are there to mirror the system to us because there has to be some kind of balance.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love this stuff. I love when you and I you say one thing and I'm like, "Oh my god, I was just looking at that last
I was
night.
just
That's so
over here.
crazy.
I know. I
I
love
was
that.
just
And
over
so
here."
in meditation today, because I did meditation with a group today, it was all
I know
about
I
this.
missed it again.
Listen, it's fine. But in group, this is the community, right? So in the
Yes.
meditation, I really drew in the collective energy of the group, and how, the feedback already that I had, people reached out to me were like, I didn't realize there was a like the crack in the door, which is what because I always try to like tap into my own space for meditation, but also if I'm doing like a live reading, a live meditation, even a reading, I try to tap into the collective as well, right? Because we are all one with source.
Yes.
And so,
Yes.
um, letting the others hold it while you just take a break for a second was the breathing in and breathing out. It was some
Mm.
felt really supported in that space, and also, the realizing that I had loosened it like a snake's skin, but I hadn't quite let it fall to the earth. And I was like,
Oh,
yeah. Okay, so it's not just me going through the shit. So,
absolutely it's not. Heck no.
yeah.
Well, and I think
Yeah.
all this love stuff, this self-love, this relationship stuff, I think it's coming to the surface hardcore all over the
Mm,
place because in order for us to increase in consciousness, it has to. We
yeah.
can't be stuck in what no longer serves the base soul of who we are. And
Yeah.
I mean, I've got people too that I know that are going through the same stuff on all different levels. Some are in relationships that maybe they shouldn't be in, some, right? Like it's all over the place and everybody's
Yeah.
questioning little bits and pieces, but it's all about if you look inside, you'll find your answers. If you can find the love within yourself to know really deep down what is and what should be,
Mm,
it'll be all it might suck, but it'll be good. Like long term, it'll be good.
yeah. And so you had
And
said
like you
something.
said last podcast, you can't get it wrong.
No, you can't. Nothing what that is
You can't
truly
get it
meant for
wrong.
you will never miss you. It will never miss you.
No, no,
Um,
never.
so with you and Chris, you have
Mm,
been married 25 years, and
mm.
you have obviously, you just said people are together who shouldn't be together. And I know everybody who knows friendships, coworkers, parents, family members, romantic relationships, we've all had the valleys, the trenches where we're like, oh my God, I do not want to even have to. So I know you've had them, as every relationship has. And so, how did
Yep.
you know the difference between this is worth fighting for and I know this is going to come up and we're going to learn and grow and come out the other side of this, rather than like me, sat, recognized that this wasn't working and then decided to split?
Um, it goes back to the when Chris and I first met. Um, I was I was in a very tough relationship when Chris and I first met. A very abusive relationship. He knew
Mm,
instantaneously, I can't even say the word. He knew he
yeah.
was gonna marry me the minute he saw me, he said. And I was in this, like, fog, this shadow place. So, I didn't quite know that, but there was an instant connection. And that man courted me for, like, 6 months while I was in the suck of what I was in. And then we worked together. So then I had ended up abruptly quitting. Like the one piece of power I could find myself in that time frame was me quitting the job that I was at instantly because someone was devaluing who I was in that moment. And I think I had already been devalued so much that I was like, that was my breaking point. I was like, no more. And I didn't think about anything else. I didn't think about Chris at the time, like nothing. I was just like, I can't be in this space if you're going to treat me like that. So I
Yeah.
quit this job and about, I want to say 11 months later, all of a sudden, I start having dreams about Chris, like
Wow.
night in and night out for 7 nights. And I I woke up on I think on the 7th morning and I was still living with my parents at the time and I looked at my mom and I'm like, I need to go call somebody. I need to go call this guy." She's like,
Yeah.
"What?" Because she had known what I had been through and I was over the other part of where I was at. So, the crazy part is I didn't even know his name because when we worked together, we were so infatuated with each other. we called each other blue eyes. We had both like the deepest blue eyes when we were young. I think I
Yeah.
was 19 when we met, I think, and he was just turning 27. We're 8 years apart. And so we called each other blue eyes. It was like he would come up to my desk and, hi, blue eyes. And like it was always blue eyes. So I never even got to know his name. He worked in the back, he worked in the shop in the back. So a couple of this, we were at a dealership. I worked at the front part. So the salesman would always call us blue eyes too. And there was one salesman, and he always said to us, he says, you guys are going to get married. And we were always like, whatever. Right.
Yeah.
So I called this salesman and I'm like, I said, does blue eyes still work there? Oh yeah, he's in the back right now. I'm like, okay, before you patch me through, I'm like, what's his name? So he gave me his name, and and so anyways, long story short, we go on our first date literally the next day because he was so thrilled. And
Yeah.
we're sitting at dinner. And I said to him, I said, he's like, why did you call? And I'm like, because I've dreamt about you for like the last 7 nights. And he says, ditto. He says, same. He's like, I've been dreaming about you nonstop. And he said, um, tell me the first part of the dream and I'm going to see of one of your dreams. I'm going to see if it's the same. So I told him the first part of this one dream, and he told me the ending to it, identically as it happened. So we had met in a different route. I mean, we're
Astral
made for each
traveling.
other.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we're so through all the hard parts. That's one thing that always stood inside of me was, this is hard, but we chose this for a reason because we chose each other long before we met.
Very.
There was no other identity for me other than, um, we're gonna push through every single aspect. And there was moments that there's been moments in our relationship where I have asked him, "Do you want me around? Like, do you want me to like where we've had a blowout and the distance the distance was so far between us, and I've said to him, "Do you want me to leave? Like, like is that what you want?" And it's always been a no. But in those moments, I'm like, I need to honor all of this. I don't have a plan for it, but whatever this will be is obviously in our destiny. And we've worked through each thing. And then that asking and being raw and vulnerable of, do you want me around? Should I stay? Like, I have I don't have any question in the world that I know we're supposed to be here. But if that's not your path, then we'll figure it out, I guess. But that hard, raw asking of that question has led to such like beautiful hours long conversations after it that breaks both of us completely open. And I just got body chills because we have broken open over and over. And I'm going to cry and over
Yeah.
again. And it's not been like 25 years. It's not easy, right? It's beautiful, but it's not been easy along the way. And, um, I finally, and that's what I love about this year is I feel like 25, like we're coming on 25 years and I feel like we're just starting, like we finally just cracked all these walls that we both have had this whole entire time. And there's finally like, it's like a recognition finally at a soul level of, I really remember you. Like I really remember who you are. Right. So, I mean, yeah, no, relationships are not fucking easy. They're not fucking
No.
easy. But that was the coming back to me was that point of remembering that we met on a different plane to be in existence with each other here, and both of us to this day. And when we were in Phoenix, we had the one dream that brought us both together. In the dream we had met in front of a fountain. Well, we were in a restaurant in the dream, and then before we exited back to our bodies, we said goodbye in front of this beautiful fountain. And when we were in Phoenix, we were sitting at a restaurant with our kids and we were
Good.
facing outwards, and he elbowed me and he's like, look. And I was like, what? And he's like, look. I'm like, I don't know what you're looking at. He says, look at that fountain. And I looked at the fountain and I looked at him and I went, holy shit, that's the fountain that we saw in our dream.
Yeah.
and the lighting around it and everything was the same. And it was like we both just looked at each other and we were like, yeah, like we came up to this point, this like, I don't know, right? I don't know what point it was, but there was this that was the point of like recognition that everything that we've been through is absolutely destined and supposed to be there for that time frame.
Mm. I love that. And he was very excited to I remember he told me about the fountain story. I knew about your fountain story about
He was so yeah, he was so excited. He was so
yeah,
excited and it was such
yeah.
like just this
It was
last
such a
year, like
aha
all the
confirmation.
yeah, it's such a confirmation and just the little bits and pieces he remembers of us meeting and all the little things and he's got all these cute little memories that flood back that he just kind of throws out every now and then that he reminds me of. I've always known it's been you. Like I've always known that this has been it. And that part in the masculine, that raw part is is a beautiful unfolding where they can be that raw and that open. But it's I mean, it's like I said, it's we've broken ourselves open over and over and over again and over
Oh,
again, right? And I mean, we both come from different traumas, like past shit, right? His family very different, my family very different. Treated very right. Everybody was treated the way they were treated when they're growing up, which brings stuff with it. And one of the things that I know I always told him, and I think that's something that if you can't say to your friends or your loved ones is, I don't care how you see yourself. I see you as this beautiful human being with all the potentials that the universe could possibly hold. And no matter how you act towards me or who you are, there's no bearing on that. I still love you. And
mm,
I've said that to him quite a few times in our marriage because his own self-love wasn't there for a really long time. He had probably a lot of guilt around his own childhood and stuff like that, and I'm like, "None of that matters." Like, I see you as the person I see you, I'm in love with, and it
mm,
doesn't none of this matters if you wanna work through it, right?
yeah.
Like, if this is what you want, and of course, so we're still here.
Oh, I love that. Thank you for sharing it. It's so interesting because part of me is a little bit nostalgic by that because this is the point of you know your person. And I know that I have met my person. But I think what I hear is because then I'm sure other people are going to be like, well, how come that one could work and mine can't? Right. Um, I think what I heard from you, and tell me if I'm wrong, you both had the same capacity to want to work and to get in the trenches together and to continue to fight for the two of you.
Absolutely.
Because I think
Yeah,
that's the difference between like even with my marriage, you know, because I feel oftentimes if I'm really transparent, I did I fight enough? Did I work enough at, you know, saving it or at the potential of what could have been to a detriment of self? I probably could have worked even harder. But
yeah,
you
yeah.
have to have somebody who's willing to step up and fight at the same level. It can't be all the same person all the time.
No, it has to be equal partners looking to level up.
That's right.
And I mean, there was points where I was like, "Is he gonna level up?" Like, I don't I honestly, there was points where I was like, "I don't know." Right?
Mm.
I'm not sure.
Did
And,
you ever wonder if you would level
and
up?
all many times I was
Okay.
like, "Can I meet him where he's at?" Right?
Mhm.
Yeah, but both ways. I mean, God, I think I probably spent more time there than he spent, wondering if he would level up. I'm probably spent more
Yeah,
time saying, um, m
I do
more
this.
so out of not having enough self-love for myself. Yeah, where it's like,
Yeah.
am I gonna meet him? It's like I held him on a pedestal for years, and then what I came to find out is as a feminine, as the the feminine energy, when I rise, he rise twice as much. And then I meet him there, and then I rise more, and then he rises more. The
Yeah.
problem, like, in all the problems would be he'd be here and I'd be way down here, and no matter how hard he tried, he just couldn't pull me to where I was valued and, like, I felt worthy enough to be there with him. So,
Right.
that created conflict. It was not all on him, it was on me too throughout our marriage too, right? Where there's probably most of our marriage, I just didn't feel worthy enough of anything. Like, I didn't have a lot of worth in myself for anything. I was a great mom. Like, I knew I was worthy there, but when it came to, like, being his person, I did not feel worthy enough for decades with that. So, it was like this
Yeah.
balance back and forth and back and forth. All I knew is even though I didn't feel worthy enough, I wasn't willing to let it go because I the conflict, whatever we were going through, that would make me rise. It was like it had no choice, right? So then we would meet at a new level, but then we would cycle through this again and again and again, which broke us open too many times to count.
What I
So
just
yeah.
wrote down was we need to do a we need to do a podcast on how one develops self-worth.
Yes, we do. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely we do because it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's like how does that come about? I look back at that even as you said that and I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, right? It comes
Yeah.
through conflict and good times. Like it comes through both. So yeah, and you know what? Some relationships, firmly believe some relationships come into this world that are only here to teach us things, and they're
Okay.
not meant to stay, and they're meant to leave us, whether that's friendships or romantic relationships, and both are okay, right?
Yeah.
It's not a matter of I need to stick my marriage out like her for the next 25 years just to say I did it. That's not accurate or a good thing either.
Right. Right. Yeah. I listening to self is something that this is where I think the surrender is trusting in self and trusting that no matter what, God, divine spirit, whatever we call our higher source has us, right? We have us, but also
Absolutely.
God
We
has
have
us, right?
us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Well,
my God.
one and the same. We're connected to source, right? Ooh,
Exactly.
that was a
Yeah.
heavy one. And if you
Woo-wee!
stayed
Well,
for the 52 minutes that this went on, I hope it's been good for you. I really do. I hope we all got something out of it because I know I did both ways. So,
yeah. And I hope that
um,
today is filled with
that's I
love.
think yes, I hope every day is filled with love. Start with love of
Yes,
self first, always, and then
exactly.
you'll attract it in always. So. With
Yeah.
that, thank you for being with us. Go smash the subscribe button, like, comment, give us some feedback. We love it. And thank you for being with Midlife with Mystics and Misfits. We'll see you next time.
Okay. Bye, babe.